Maya had always been busy. Her days were a blur of work meetings, endless to-do lists, and a nagging feeling that something was missing in her life. One rainy evening, seeking refuge from the storm, she ducked into a small, dimly lit bookstore. Wandering through the aisles, her eyes fell on an old, worn book titled Wisdom of the Ancients. Something about it called to her, and she decided to take it home. That night, curled up with a cup of tea, Maya opened the book and found herself immersed in the teachings of ancient philosophers. Their words, though centuries old, felt startlingly relevant. As she read, 5 profound lessons began to take root in her mind. The first lesson came from Socrates, who famously said, "Know thyself." Maya paused to reflect. How often had she truly taken the time to understand her own values and desires? The answer was rarely, if ever. Inspired, she decided to start a daily practice of journaling. Each morning, she wrote about her thoughts, fears, and dreams. Over time, patterns emerged: what she cared about, what drained her energy, and what gave her joy. For the first time, Maya began to see herself clearly, and with that clarity came a newfound sense of purpose. The second lesson was from Buddha, who taught that suffering stems from resistance. The path to freedom, he said, is through acceptance. The next day, stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic, Maya felt frustration rising within her. Normally, she'd stew in anger, but this time, she paused. She took a deep breath and reminded herself of Buddha's words. She couldn't control the traffic, but she could control how she reacted to it. Instead of fuming, she turned on her favorite music and used the time to relax. It was a small moment, but it brought her a profound sense of peace. Then came the wisdom of Confucius, who valued integrity above all. Actions speak louder than words, he wrote. One evening, a coworker suggested cutting corners on a project to save time. It was tempting, but Maya thought of Confucius and chose to stay true to her values. She insisted on doing the job the right way, even if it took longer. To her surprise, her decision earned her the respect of her team and, more importantly, strengthened her belief in living authentically. The fourth lesson came from Lao Tzu, who reminded her that every journey begins with a single step. Maya had always dreamed of starting her own art business, but the goal seemed so daunting that she never started. Inspired by Lao Tzu, she decided to take one small step, sketching a single piece to sell online. That step turned into another, then another, until she realized she was finally making her dream a reality. The journey was no longer intimidating, it was empowering. Finally, Aristotle taught her about balance. He believed in the golden mean: moderation in all things. Maya realized she had been neglecting her personal life, pouring all her energy into work. Slowly, she began to make changes. She set boundaries at work, made time for friends and family, and rediscovered hobbies she had once loved. With balance, she felt her energy and happiness return. As Maya closed the book, she realized these ancient lessons weren't just philosophical musings, they were practical tools for living a better life. Through self-awareness, acceptance, integrity, small steps, and balance, she had begun to transform her days. Maya's journey reminds us that the wisdom of the ancients is timeless. It's a guide for anyone ready to live with purpose, peace, and authenticity. And now, it's your turn. Which of these lessons resonates with you the most? Share your thoughts, and let's inspire each other to embrace the wisdom that has guided humanity for centuries.